Okay, let's just jump right into this. You know the story of Superman, right? The rocket from Krypton, the kindly Kents finding him, becoming this incredible symbol of hope. But what if that rocket just veered a little off course? What if the ultimate symbol of hope lands in a place where hope isn't just a weakness, it's a liability? A world literally designed from the ground up to destroy it.
And this quote right here, it sets the stage perfectly. I mean, think about that. This is a world where strength isn't for protecting anyone, it's for collecting. Where the most powerful living things aren't revered, they're mounted on a wall. This planet isn't looking for a hero, it's looking for its next greatest prize.
So, before our hero even arrives, we really need to get our heads around the brutal physics of this new home, because there is one single fundamental law, and it governs absolutely everything.
Yeah, it's the finality of that word, erased, that's so chilling. On this world, mercy isn't just seen as a weakness, it's basically an evolutionary dead end. Any creature that shows it, even for a second, is just quickly and efficiently removed from the gene pool. The entire ecosystem has been shaped by one simple rule: what can kill survives.
This makes it so clear that the danger isn't just, the other creatures running around. No, the planet itself is the ultimate predator. The air is toxic. The gravity is crushing. The ground itself radiates enough heat to wipe out entire species. This world is an active, relentless filter designed to eliminate any and all weakness.
And then, into this perfectly balanced ecosystem of death, something completely impossible happens. An object arrives that shatters every known rule of physics and survival that exists on this world.
And this arrival was anything but gentle. The sky itself literally screamed as this foreign object just refused to burn up in the atmosphere. The impact was catastrophic. It split the ground wide open. But then, after this massive shockwave rolled out, there was this unnatural silence. No debris field, no vaporized remains. The object was simply intact. A total and complete contradiction to everything they knew.
And trust me, that silence, it did not go unnoticed. Because this world isn't empty. It's being watched, constantly. Not by caretakers or guardians, but by the apex predators who call this place home. From hidden perches, their optics locked onto that crash site. Not with curiosity, but with the cold, hard calculation of a hunt just beginning.
The difference between what they expected to find and what was actually there is, well, it's staggering. I mean, they expected a weapon, right? Some kind of armored soldier bred for war. The energy readings were off the charts. But when the pod hissed open, the reality was just baffling. It was a child, small, unarmed, and completely alone.
So this is the point where the story shifts from just being a simple anomaly to a profound, deep mystery. The hunter's initial shock gives way to pure, unadulterated confusion, because this child immediately starts breaking every single rule of survival they know.
The planet immediately starts its test, The toxic air should have choked him instantly. The crushing gravity should have snapped his bones. The searing heat coming off the soil should have dropped him. But none of it worked. His body didn't even panic. It just adapted.
So from the tree line, the hunters are running their scans, and the data they're getting back just makes no sense at all. Mass insufficient for the kind of resilience they're seeing. Strength readings all over the place, wildly inconsistent. The being simply did not fit any known profile for prey. Their system just kept coming back with one result: unknown.
And his behavior was even more confusing. I mean, prey hides, prey flees. That's what prey does. But this child? He moved openly, without any sign of fear. He reacted to this lethal world with simple curiosity. But then came the critical observation, the one thing that completely broke their entire understanding of the natural order. He actively protected a weaker life form from a native predator. This one act, it violated the most fundamental law of their entire world. Predators don't protect prey. Hell, prey doesn't protect other prey. It was an action so illogical, so completely outside the bounds of anything they had ever experienced that the hunters immediately flagged the situation. They notified their elders. This was no longer just a hunt. And this brings us to the final, chilling phase of this whole encounter. The elders review all the data, and they come to a terrifying realization. They aren't just observing a new species of prey. They might be witnessing an entirely new classification of being.
And this was their simple but profound conclusion. The planet, their ultimate crucible, the force that had erased entire civilizations from existence, had thrown everything it had at this child, and the planet was the one that was found wanting.
See, the hunters made a decision to just observe, believing that time and the relentless environment would eventually wear him down, would eventually break him. And this was their first critical error. They applied their own biological understanding of limits to a being that might not actually have any.
And this is the moment. This is where the entire perspective just flips on its head. The child isn't the one being tested here. He is the test. His mere presence, his survival, his impossible actions, they aren't measuring his strength. They're exposing the ultimate powerlessness of this supposedly merciless world.
Which leaves the hunters, and us, with one final, absolutely terrifying question. The trophies on this world are taken from the strong, from the apex predators. But for the very first time, these hunters are watching something they can't even begin to classify. So if this impossible child, a being who can just shrug off a death world like it's nothing, if this was prey, then what in the entire universe could possibly be powerful enough to be its predator?